Irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Fitaurus' Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu today we've got Prismatic Solid, an Xbox 360 indie title released by Yoichi Komori Games back in 2010. What kind of taste will this one have? Let's find out.
Alright, here we are at the main menu of Prismatic Solid. Let's go ahead and jump in and see what kind of game we've got. Stage 1, Ridge. Prismatic Solid is your basic vertical shoot 'em up with some fun, unique features. So we have our ship, which is a green little polygon assemblage. Then we've got three options that go and surround our ship. One blue, one yellow, and one red. The configuration actually goes and matches the Xbox 360 controller, which is kind of a neat little feature. We also go and have 6 weapons that we go and have throughout the course of the entire game. You've got our homing shot, your basic weak homing shot from any shoot 'em up. Split, which goes and splits at certain intervals. I'm not sure if it actually weakens the shot as it goes further out, but the further back you are, the more coverage you will have on the screen, which is neat. A three-way shot, which has a really high rate of fire, and also has kind of a neat sweep effect as we move left or right, and then it goes and straightens back out. You'll note that as I'm going and changing weapons, the options are going and moving around and changing their position around the ship. The options do go and help block incoming enemy shots, so their position around the ship is actually very important throughout the course of your gameplay. Anyway, next up shot-wise, as we go and fighting the boss of Stage 1 here, we've got Rainbow. This laser kind of goes and reminds me a little bit of the laser from R-Type. It's kind of neat helix rainbow effect. Places our options to either side and behind us. The shower, which goes and throws out a seemingly random spray of bullets in a cone shape in front of the ship. And Snow, which goes and throws out this neat firework effect around the ship. But it's actually kind of hard to go and hit enemies with this, but they do appear to go and deal some significant damage, at least against this first stage boss. Like I said, it's actually hard to, since the fireworks are also random, it's kind of hard to go and hit enemies with. Alright, stage clear. Collect these star power-ups that go and power up our options. So as you go and collect power-ups, the tendrils on your options go and get longer. And here we are at stage 2, water, which goes and has a really neat liquid metal water effect that we're going and gliding over. And then a droplet effect with our shots and even the passing of our ship. Kind of neat. Well, anyway, as I was going and saying, you go and collect the power-ups that will go and correspond to the colors of the options that they'll go and increase the power of. And you also have the ability to go and use up those power-ups to go and create kind of a bomb effect called a sweep. So once we get to a point where we have a lot of shots on the screen, I'll go ahead and show those off. Go ahead and move to the shower shot, which I like for the defensive positioning it goes and gives with the options. Pick up a couple more star power-ups. So this is a perfect place to go and show off our sweeps. So here's our blue sweep, our red sweep, and our yellow sweep. They're useful in going and clearing the bullets off of the stage, which can be very important as this one can be kind of bullet helly. And they do go and help deal some damage, but not a significant amount, it seems, to the enemies that we go in and are encountering. So, there are a total of 6 stages in Prismatic Solid, and none of them are particularly lengthy, as we've already reached the end of Stage 2, So the stages are, the first one of course was Ridge, the second stage is Water, third stage is titled Space, fourth stage is Atom, the fifth stage is Shaft, and the last stage is simply titled Extra. So one nice feature that the tendrils go and have for our options is it's actually possible to use those in the options themselves to go and deal damage. Kind of a neat, daring little tactic, but not too overly not too overly useful depending on the enemy. It works well for this boss though. It's sometimes hard to go and get good positioning to actually use any of the shots effectively against him. So Prismatic Solid is one that I kind of have mixed feelings about after going and spending some time going and playing it. It was originally released on the Xbox 360 Indie Marketplace back in 2010. It just recently came to my attention because it received a port to the PlayStation 4 that was just barely released back in February of 2015. It's a super colorful and vibrant shoot 'em up, but that's also part of where it goes and rubs me the wrong way. It's almost too busy and colorful. This stage here is a perfect example of it going and being too busy. The Starfield effect in Stage 3 Space that we go and have makes it very easy to go and lose ourselves, our shots, the enemy's shots, and everything that's going on. And then we start going and getting some stage obstacles like these hexagonal segments that go and drop in, which are once our shots go and hit as well, go and create a particle effect that just fills up the screen with almost kind of a sensory overload amount of like bits. So, you know, particle effects are great and all, but when it gets to the point where you're going and filling the screen and making it easy to go and lose yourself among the busyness of the enemies in the background, it gets to go and be a little bit of a problem. So there's definitely that warning that I would have to go and throw out about Prismatic Solid, is that the visual eye candy that it goes and presents is too sweet. Going and detracting from at least a little bit, and in some of the later stages especially, from my enjoyment of this title as a whole. But admittedly, for the original price point that it was presented on the Xbox 360 Marketplace, which was all of $1, I can still go and recommend this title to fans of the shoot 'em up genre. But just go and be aware that it's visual overload. It is also a short game overall. Here we are already at the Stage 3 boss, and with only 6 stages in the game, this is the midpoint of the game. So it's not going to go and like be very long, but once again, noting its initial price point of $1, I guess that's kind of forgivable. Alright. Well, I think that'll just go about wrap it up for me. So, Prismatic Solid. A game that, if you're going and looking for a visually stunning, polygonal shoot 'em up, is definitely worth going and checking out at the low price point of $1 on the Xbox 360. But is also one that I have a hard time personally recommending just off because of the visuals. It's, you know, a great looking game, but it's just too busy, and I'll kind of almost have a hard time believing that I'm going and saying this myself, but it's almost too colorful. Alright, well, with that said, thank you so much for going and joining me for Shoot 'em Up Saturday. As always, if you go and have any suggestions for shoot 'em ups for me to go and play in the future, or other titles you would like to go and see me play, by all means, please go and leave those in the comments below. I hope you've gone and enjoyed the video, and once again, thank you so much for going and joining me, and I hope to go and see you again next week.